Okay, guys, it's a really buzzy room. I don't think anybody wants to watch demonstrations. You're all busy chatting. You want to watch. All right, for those of you who want to watch another demonstration, I'm about to do... Who enjoyed the cheeses tonight? Yeah. So if you went to the Riverside Market, I think is where those lovely gourmet cheeses are made, you'll pay quite a large amount of money to enjoy those cheeses. But if you can't afford, I've got the Chickpea Paneer is what I'll demonstrate for you. So that's in your handout there. And it's as cheap as chips to make. So I've basically just got here in the blender, in the bullet, I'm going to put 1 3/4 cups of water. Chickpeas are an amazing source of minerals, proteins, fibre. They are one of the best protein sources we've got, as well as really good for fibre. So, and the hummus had chickpeas. We had chickpeas on the menu tonight. So the chickpea flour is as cheap as chips. Who knows where to get it? It's also called besan or cheddar flour, and I buy this at Bin Inn for about $3 for a kilo, or $3.75, and it's just a really good alternative. So I'm going to try and get this in here without spilling it everywhere. So this is 1 cup of chickpea flour, cheddar. I've got some rivalry down here. It's all right. Now, I'm going to add, so did you see the Revive stock powder recipe there? And yeah. So the equivalent of 2 tablespoons of stock powder. I've made it up here, and I'm just going to pop it in here. So we're going to say that's 2 tablespoons. And the recipe says a teaspoon of salt, or thereabouts, or what does it say? Half a teaspoon. Instead, I actually have discovered that, and you can write that down on your notes if you like, a cube of mackerel works well as well. So mackerel vegetable stock is very nice in it, along with the Revive stock. So simply into the bullet it goes. And I'll just make a bit of noise for a couple of minutes, or not even. You know what? I forgot something. What did I forget? Oil, thank you. So, just a slight adjustment here to the recipe. I've got a tablespoon of oil here. There we go. And that just gives it a little bit of creamy without being excessive. This actually makes a lot of... So I made four times this for everybody here on the platters. I could wait till that turns off, because it turns off quite rapidly, but I'm going to put it in the pan, and hopefully this works tonight. Do you remember last month? We had the wrong pan, but I still might need Craig to do the magic touch, but I'll see if it... yeah, I do. It doesn't seem to like... Oh, here we go. I've got it. Yay. All right, so into the pan it goes. And because this is a rapid cook pan, you need to stir the whole time, and actually you can whisk it so it doesn't get lumpy, but it won't take any time at all to start to thicken. So we'll just keep mixing here. Now, we had a lot of linseed in our recipes tonight, and the banoffee pie is about to come out. In fact, if we bring it out now, I'll lose your attention. So you just have to wait a few minutes. But I know, like, Angie has worked, or our anonymous dessert queen, who doesn't like her name being mentioned, she's worked tirelessly all day to produce this fabulous banoffee pie. All day. She was on the floor about 9:30 with us this morning, and she left at 3 o'clock to go pick her daughter up. It took her all that time to make the banoffee pie. But anyway, I'm told that it's fantastic. To be honest, I would definitely whisk this. I've never normally stirred, but because I'm in this special pan, but it thickens up really well, but it's going lumpy on me. So the ones I made today were whisked. I might have to turn it down a bit. The whisk is much better, but what you could do is if it goes lumpy like this, no, just whisk it. It's just I have a metal whisk here, which won't be very kind on the pan. These are expensive pans. So I can put it back in the whiz, but no, it really thickens up, and it won't whiz again. So, but anyway, we'll get it in the dish and I'll show you. But it's as simple as this, and if you're using a whisk, it'll work really well. In fact, it's not looking too bad as we speak. You might think it's lumpy, but I think we're going to resolve it. So you see how thick it gets? Yeah, stirring for a couple of minutes. And then it's just going to go into the baking paper in the dish here. Actually, it's not looking too bad. What do you think? Can you see it on the screen? Okay, look, I'm impressed. I thought I've never done it just with a wooden spoon. All right. I reckon we've got it relatively creamy. So that's as simple as that. And then it goes, I've got a spatula here. In fact, I'll just put that down on the board for a sec. Spatula. And you just smooth it out into a dish, like so. At least it thickened this time. Into the dish. And you just spread it out nicely on the baking paper. And it looks a bit gooey, but believe it or not, if you put this in the freezer for 30 minutes, you bring it out, it's nice and firm. And then you saw how Gina cut her crackers tonight. Did you see the cutter she had? Well, I cut all my paneer up with the Gina's cutter into nice little cubes, and then you just simply lightly fry. So I'm not going to show you the finished product, but you can see here it's 30 minutes in the freezer, or you can put it in the refrigerator for a few hours, whatever your time limit is. And then you just tip it upside down and put it on a chopping board and cut it into squares and just lightly fry. And that's your paneer, okay? Paneer. Probably to produce that would have cost all of $3, if that. Sam? Yeah, the dark one. Enjoy that? Yeah, yum. So that's a cheap way of doing a vegan cheese.